In this Go Byte, we're going to have a look at some other conditional logic, an alternative to if you like, that being else and else if. So as we know, if conditions, if a condition evaluates to true, then a piece of code works. But what about if you want to run an alternative piece of code if the condition evaluates to false? That's where else comes into it. So let's have a demonstration and you should quickly get an understanding of this. So first of all, I've imported a format here, and so we are declaring a age variable like we've done previously. And we're saying if age is greater than or equal to 18, print you're an adult. But how about if the person or if the age is less than 18 and we want to print you're a child? So we can do that by adding an else on here, and that looks like this. So else you're a child. So let's think about, or let's speak about what we expect to happen here. Age is 17, meaning that age is not greater than or equal to 18. So this will evaluate to false, and in which case what we want to do is run the alternative, which is the else condition, and this should print you're a child. So I'm expecting to see here you're a child printed. So go run main.go, and as we expect, you're a child. Okay, so that really gives us two basic conditions. It's really either or. So you're either greater than or equal to 18, or you're not, in which case you're a child. But how about if we wanted an interim step where we wanted to say anyone over 13 or over is considered a teenager? So what we want to do is, if this evaluates to false, we check another condition before we immediately brand the person a child, and we check if they're 13 or over, and in which case we tell them you're a teenager. We can do that using else if, and so that looks like this. Else if age is greater than or equal to 13, but what if this evaluated to false? Well, that's simple. It would simply move on to our else condition here. We know the person is not 18 or over, we know the person is not 13 or over, and so this final condition triggers, which really catches all alternatives, and it will print you're a child. So here, the age is 17. So what do we expect to see here? This will evaluate to false, but this will evaluate to true. And once a condition evaluates to true, then it stops evaluating. It will not then move on to the else condition. Only one of these needs to be true, and then it quits executing this entire block and just exits using whatever it needs to print here. Okay, so let's go and run this. We're expecting to see you're a teenager, and indeed we do. Okay, let's have a challenge. So here, write a program that checks a score and prints a message based on this logic. So if the score is 90 or above, print grade A. Else if the score is 80 or above, print grade B. Else if the score is 70 or above, print grade C. Else print grade F. So if it's not 70 or above, then we're going to print grade F. So even though this is very similar to the code which we just looked at, you might think, well, I can skip this challenge, it works exactly the same way. However, I wouldn't recommend that approach. It makes a big difference in actually thinking about it and writing the code yourself rather than just watching. If you were just watching, you're not really engaged, but if you do the challenges, then you're thoroughly engaged and you retain this knowledge a lot easier. So I'm sure you can do this one. Pause me now and give it a go. Okay, so first of all, we shall create a score variable, score, and we'll just say that the score is 75. Okay, so here we're saying if score is 90 or above, print grade A. Then else if the score is 80 or above, print grade B. So if score is greater than or equal to 80, we shall print grade B. 70 or above will be grade C. And then finally, if it's below 70, then what we're going to say is grade F. Okay, so greater than or equal to 90 will be grade A. Greater than or equal to 80 will be grade B. Greater than or equal to 70, grade C. If it's below 70, then it's just going to default to grade F. So what do we expect to see here? We have a score of 75. It's less than 80, but it is greater than 70. So I'm expecting to see grade C printed out here. Hope that's what you expected too. Let's run this. All right, grade C. Okay, now you might be looking at this and thinking, well, this could get unwieldy if we have a lot of conditions, and you would be right about that. There is an alternative to this called switch, and we're going to cover it soon, but for the time being, hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you give it a like if you did. Make sure you subscribed, and if you want details of where you can find the textual version of this lesson on GitHub, you can find that down in the description, as well as details about subscribing to the mailing list so I can send you all of my Go updates.